Hey everyone, welcome back to HD Reddit Reads. Today's topic is, what are some guy secrets girls don't know about? Let's get into it. Many men have anxiety and or depression, but we will not talk about it and we will get moderately annoyed at you for bringing it up. A lot of women don't understand that it takes us a lot longer to figure out how we feel about something than most women. Give us time to process, and we'll bring it up if and when we want to talk about it. But don't try to push us to be emotional, since most men aren't as driven by feelings as most women. Sometimes we don't talk to people because we don't want to intimidate them. I might see a girl with a cool shirt on, but I don't want to make her think I'm coming on to her or something. Rather than freak her out that a 6'6" guy thinks she looks good today, I just leave her alone. Especially if we're on an elevator or something, where she can't even leave if it's actually uncomfortable. Sex isn't all we want in a relationship. I'd rather be with someone who understands me but only does it once in a while, than someone who I have sex with every day but don't connect with emotionally and mentally. Some of us are really into things like cooking, cleaning, makeup, fashion, etc. It doesn't necessarily mean we're gay. Please don't tell us to man up. A lot of us were constantly told that growing up whenever we tried to express ourselves, so you saying it will often bring up bad memories. Men can be abused, men can be raped. Men also tend to be more suicidal because society tells us we're weak if we try to discuss these things. No, we don't enjoy being raped by a hot girl, and we don't often talk about it because people will often straight up tell us we're lying about it if we do. I don't know if other guys feel this too, but I'm always afraid to accidentally make women feel uncomfortable in my presence. For example, when I happen to walk in the same direction as a woman in front of me for a while, and I'm not even interested in the woman in the first place. This is me, all the time. I'm brown, not small, and I live in a big city where women are high and alert all the time. So I go out of my way to slow down or speed up when walking in the proximity of a woman when we're both alone. My wife, mother, and sister have made me aware of my male privilege, and it's all I can think about sometimes, that I might be making someone scared just by being there. I'm not afraid of my repercussions for myself, I just never want to make people feel that way. I realizing my smiling only helps sometimes, and speaking to them without being spoken to first is jarring sometimes. And it's not all women, but it's clear that most women will never, ever feel comfortable in the presence of a man they don't know on the street, no exceptions. I'm sorry that the world is shitty, and that women are often victims of circumstances they don't control. I'm trying, ladies, and I always will interject when a panhandler gets aggressive or let you know when your bag is hanging open. I don't know the solution for this, but I am hyper aware of it, and I hope one day the world is safe for everyone, not just for me. My dad served in the Pacific War during World War II. A kid from the Bronx, he had never been out of the Bronx his entire life. Then he got sent to New Guinea. Decades later, as he lay dying in the hospital bed, he told us, as his young friends were being slaughtered by other young men, just before they died, they always cried for their mothers, never for their fathers, always for their mothers. He said they were just kids being slaughtered by other kids, and then they died in his arms. Their last words were always, "Where's my mother? Where's my mother? Where's my mother?" Never for their fathers. That affected him for his entire life, and Dad lived a long time. He was the lucky one. If you compliment my appearance, I will probably remember forever. I still remember when a girl in college told me I looked nice with my beard when I first grew it out. I've had a beard ever since. I'm a woman. In college, I complimented this random guy in line for coffee that he smelled really nice. It wasn't a pickup line or anything, I just enjoyed complimenting people. About a year later, we ended up having a class together, and I didn't recognize him at all. He came up to me and thanked me again for my compliment I gave him a year ago, and said he hasn't forgotten about it and how nice it was for a stranger to be so upfront and compliment him. We'll be married 7 years in June. After a shower, we have no problem drying our balls and face with the same towel. Most of the time we try to dry the face first, then the sack, but sometimes we have to go back there to the face. We just hope we use an uncontaminated part of the towel. As an older man, we don't expect you to look like a supermodel as we age together. Yes, there are times I see every wrinkle and flaw and know how you got every one of them. They are beautiful too. Your chances of getting what you want out of us is infinitely higher if you tell us directly. I can vouch for this. I was upset with myself for not picking up what I thought were clear hints. When he responded frustrated with, "I don't understand hints, just tell me what you want, woman," he really helped communicate better. I don't know why we grow up thinking we can't directly ask for things. Imagine hinting what you want at Chipotle. I don't know, do you think I want guacamole? It's not that I want guacamole, it's that I want you to want me have guacamole. When people come crying to us, our first inclination is to fix the problem. Since this is often not possible, lead with something along the lines of, "Can I vent for a minute?" or anything that signals to us that it's just time for active listening, rather than a problem-solving session. Men want to be wanted and desired too. I can count the number of times a woman has come out and either asked me out or told me she was attracted to me on one hand. And from my understanding, that is a high number. We don't miss hints because we are dense or stupid. We miss them because we have learned the hard way that sometimes it's just a friendly compliment or some such. That embarrassment sticks with you. If you have ever looked at a dude and thought, "Wow, he's attractive, I'd like to go out with him," go talk to him. Men love confident women, and even if he doesn't reciprocate, you will make his day, or maybe even his year. If we tie down anything on the back of a pickup truck or trailer, it's physically impossible for us not to stand back and say, "That's not going anywhere." This is shockingly accurate. Might even be accompanied by shaking the object a bit and looking at your friend for confirmation that he also saw how much is not going anywhere. We really do think your hair is good. It looked good before and after you got the haircut. It looked good curly and it looked good straight. It looked good when you woke up and when you made it. As long as it's shaped like the hair we gave girls on stick figures when we were 5 years old, we think it looks good. We don't get the hint, saying, "I almost broke my neck in the driveway." It's not the same thing as asking us to go shovel it. In my mind, I'm thinking, "Thanks for the heads up, I'll be careful." Subtle hints do not work. Obvious hints do not work. Anything short of spelling it out ABC style at us will not work. When I try to pick up on hints, I get it wrong almost every time. Oftentimes, we genuinely do not care where to go to eat because we're just hungry and want food. Any food, as long as you eat some too. 99.9% of the time, I don't care. I'm not being a pushover by having you choose what to eat, because I might as well fry some hot dogs and cook pasta, add ketchup, and voila, dinner. But I already know this isn't fancy enough, so you choose. Luckily, I found someone that'll actually eat that, so our days of not knowing isn't very indecisive. We just raid the cupboard and freezer and make ourselves whatever. The mental struggle we have to go through to not scratch around our groin in public setting. It'll take 100% of my willpower not to do it. The itching can drive me insane, yet the euphoria from actually scratching it is so good. I often imagine this must be what it's like scratching a dog's ears. The nod. When you see a guy you don't know, or kind of know but don't really know well enough to talk to, walks by, you give a subtle nod of your head, which they return. I talked to my wife about it and she confirms that women do not do this, but they sometimes smile instead. Edit. Because it keeps coming up, some girls also give the nod. Typically an up nod is for your friends and a down nod is for strangers, or less than friends. This could subconsciously have to do with the baring or hiding of the throat. Thanks everyone for the comments. As a favor, I worked on a girl's car one time and got pretty dirty. Afterwards, she asked me if I wanted to come inside and take a shower. I told her no, because I hadn't brought any clean clothes to put on after the shower. She just kinda giggled. Yeah, us guys aren't exactly too bright when it comes to reading between the lines. I had a girl tell me that my haircut looked nice. I've kept the same haircut for 4 years since then. Not sure if this is universal, but guys usually have at least one pastime for which the process and ritual is just as satisfying, if not more so, than the outcome. One example is my morning espresso. If I'm making it, being interrupted or rushed is very disruptive, to the point where I'd rather not have started it. For others, it may be washing the car, barbecue, or shaving, but try not to mind when guys are doing something where the means are an end in and of themselves. Being able to fully invest in these gratifying rituals is fulfilling to the surprising degree. I'm not staring at you. I'm zoned out thinking about how I'd start a brewery in medieval England whilst my eyes just happen to be facing your direction. If you have a son, don't rush into his room and demand that he get up immediately to do chores or some shit. He definitely has morning wood and would appreciate not needing to hide a boner from his mom. Give him at least like 5 minutes. Also, just not rushing into your kid's room in general. One day they are going to run in there without knocking first and just catch an eye full of dick. Just because I got pee on the wall doesn't mean I'm being lazy. It's because it decided to come out a different direction than where the hose was pointed. Edit, just to clarify, I did clean it up, but it was at 6 in the morning and sometimes you miss a spot. The good old fork in the road. It's not that we can't take hints, we are just afraid of looking too far into something. If someone is flirting with me, I have the dilemma of, is she actually into me, or is this just how her personality is? There is an unwritten rule of bathroom urinal etiquette that is never taught to young men, but is somehow universally known. When a man enters the public restroom to pee in a urinal, he is to occupy every other available urinal from other urinating men, meaning the prime peeing positions are in the urinals 1, 3, and 5, if that is available. 2 and 4 should only be occupied if there are no other choices. Only weirdos choose to piss in the urinal next to you when there are plenty of open urinals along the wall. Also, if we have to use the toilet to piss, we tend to piss on the side of the bowl to make less noise. When we come home from work, we could use some downtime to do nothing. The car ride home does not count. Give us 20 to 30 minutes without unloading. This may be true for everyone, but having a moment to just be dormant on your couch or in front of the TV lets your body and brain say, work is over and you can put it behind you. Thank you for listening, everyone. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. It'll be greatly appreciated. And if you want to visit the original thread, I'll link it in the description. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.